What's up, everybody? Another WFSO reaction. Is about Barrett talking about the game last night, and I know I didn't get a chance to talk about it yet, but we will talk about it on Aftermath later on tonight. I was not going to do the show, but I was just like, screw it, do the show. So just get the show done, do all you need to do, and try to get early sleep. Cause got plans to do this week with the with the like an owner and a wrestler I'm interviewing this week for a wrestling talk, I should say. I don't know why I say wrestle talk. But anyways, why are we gonna talk about this is because his reaction and only saw like half of this video before it got me upset. You was thinking like, okay, we were, cause some of the fans trying to prove our points to like, not saying like, Khris Middleton is washed, but it's like you can't praise the man that because some of these Khris Middleton fans, I'm gonna say some of them, not all of them, think like he's the savior that saved the team. No, if it was if he was playing without Giannis, it would not been he probably wouldn't have been he probably would have been the number one scorer of the team if Giannis wasn't there. But he would not carry the team to the championship. Like he'll go on and off, but he was not that really good of a first option, I should say. Second option, he was okay until start getting like injury and stuff like that, and then like his ankle still hurting this like this year, and like the numbers prove it. You can see right there, 0 points. He got the biggest plus minus on the -16. Uh, Only one assist and 4 rebounds. 0-4 from the field and 0-2 from three. If Khris Middleton was supposed to be so great, he at least were averaging like decent numbers. So that's my thing. But I'm gonna let y'all listen to it. If y'all want to check out Bears Bucks breakdown, you want to go ahead and check them out. But it's just one of those things you just get you a little bit frustrated. So let's listen to it.
The days of the mini man being in Milwaukee. I've had tears, not a full cry, but just eyes watering up for a while now, just at the thought of it. I think my own.
You know what?
My
Yeah,
time to give it
keep
up.
it down there.
Um. So yeah, what happened tonight? What happened tonight was Khris Middleton played the way Bucks fans have been telling me he's been playing all season. They've been telling me he's washed.
Not entirely wash.
The stats haven't backed it up. Admit he's been great as a scorer, efficiently, as a rebounder, as a passer. He's had career high assists per minute. The Bucks have won by more points when he's on the floor than any other player on the team. And so when I watch, so he's playing great basketball. Seems like every time he comes in, our team gets a boost. When stats back it up, keep saying.
Sorry, I have to pause this because I'm currently watching the AFC Championship game. I already know about the NFC Championship game. Feel bad for the Washington Commandos. They didn't get the chance to win, but Philadelphia's on their way to the Super Bowl. So, but then again, it's been a while for Philadelphia, so can't get too upset. But then again, right now it looks like Buffalo is in the lead by one, but it's still the third quarter, so anything can happen. So, sorry about that. I'm just talking about the NFL news. So, oh, wow, they fumbled that. But let's go. Let's listen.
Keep saying. Not washed. And then today, he does, just based off this one game, look washed. And so why do I say it's done?
Hold on,
Do I
hold
think
on.
that Khris Middleton can never get back to form? No, I don't think so. I think what?
No, it's over. It's. I'm not saying it's like over that. It's so bad that he should retire, but he's not going to be in the starting lineup anymore. It's not going to work for him. He's like a bench player at best now. So we're not saying like he's like a total wash, because I know some fans have been saying that, and I can understand their point of view with that. But Khris Middleton is better suited on the bench, and that's probably going to be his career from this point on. Because, like I said, he's not that much of an athlete, and it kind of shows. Not saying he's total wash, but his career, his best days at being in the starting as a starter is over. So just be happy with the 3-time All-Star appearances that he had, and also win that one championship. Well, if they keep him, maybe two. Who knows? But strange things happen, and right now, they still putting him up for trade. Him, Bobby, and Pat. So which I can understand because if they get rid of Pat Connaughton, they'll be off of the second apron.
I think most people do think that, but I don't think so. Just based off the fact that for a minute he's been great. But I'm no doctor.
Keep going.
Is it possible that I'm me saying per minute is like he's is not good because he's never actually going to be able to get back to being able to play 35 plus minutes?
Probably won't. Eh, as y'all know, there's always these commercials.
You get a month for free.
It's free. You can get 1 month.
Sorry, guys.
But the main reason I don't think that's true because I think people thought he was done early in his career when he tore his hamstring. They thought he was done with knee injuries.
I gotta stop you there because I didn't think his career was over when he had that hamstring. I just thought, oh no, not another injury. But at the time, he was still young, that he probably was going to be able to be good enough to recover. So it seemed like there's always something about his legs that just always get injured. So that's probably why some people are saying like they should have gave up on him early, because it's always like leg injuries or something like that. And then sometimes you had that leg injury, it may affect your shot, which it could be the case. But I know he's gonna not talk about much about this game, but it's just showing my point, that there's people out there that just like a player fan. Like I can admit, yeah, I am like a LeBron James fan too, but I hate the Lakers organization as a whole. So he won the championship in 2020. Good for them. I know some people don't count it, which I can understand why they don't count it, but it's in the NBA books anyway, so it's going to count whether we like it or not. Other thing is, the only reason I was probably happy for the Lakers winning in 2020 because Anthony Davis finally got a ring. That was the only reason I was happy for, the Lakers getting the championship because Anthony Davis finally got a ring. Anything else? No. I think that organization is like a piece of crap and kind of, the big organization that kind of ruined it with super teams first. And some people don't realize that the Lakers the one that done that. They ruined like the NBA by always putting up super teams. So they was the one to do it first. Look what they did with Kareem. Like I said, I don't know like beforehand and that when they was in Minneapolis, I don't know, but it's like ever since they've been into Los Angeles, yeah, it's like one nutcase after another.
And he's repeatedly come back to prove people wrong time and time again. So, as I've said before, I will ride with Team Mitty, Khris Middleton, until the wheels fall off.
I had to get him on that one. He's gonna ride Khris Middleton until the wheels fall off. I know it's an inside joke, but I just had to throw that in there.
Today the wheels fell off, but there's one game with the wheels falling off, and I'm not gonna. When I say ride till the wheels fall off, I'm not gonna hop off when the wheels fall off.
You see, he don't pay attention to his stats overall. Only thing he's gonna focus on this season is those 3 games that he scored like at least like 20 points or more. That's all they're going to focus on. But and plus, they were 2-1. That's just crazy.
Wheels fall off. The reason overall I say he's done though is I don't think it's beyond the pale to assume that this wasn't a physical thing today. Looking at his body language out there, I think he finally may have had enough. I don't know. Maybe this is me coping, but
Yeah, as you
is
coping.
it too conspiratorial to think maybe the Bobby Porter's personal reasons isn't just family stuff? I'm not saying that's definite. Definitely a
Possible.
possibility to consider. Is a possibility that Khris Middleton, knowing that earlier in his career they tried to trade him for Jimmy Butler, and Giannis had to reject it. Then he won a championship, historically great, broke multiple records, things that like
They only broke one record. That for scoring, like, was it like a double double or something like that? When like he tied with LeBron James with that, and I think was it LeBron James did that in 2011. And they're probably gonna do like scoring numbers, like he scored 40 in the conference finals. He scored 40 in the NBA finals. Dude, he can't do it consistently. That's the thing. Like Giannis can score like more consistently, getting more points than he does every game. So of course maybe Giannis maybe a few years younger or whatever, but still they was in the league. Well, Khris Middleton was in the league before them with Detroit, but the year after is like yeah, I don't know why they were saying he was their best scorer and their best player. And you have veterans in there like Caron Butler, OJ Mayo. Kind of like bad examples, but some of y'all at least get the point.
like Kobe Bryant had never done, Michael Jordan, 10, 5, and 5, back-to-back playoff games had never been done. Did it 28, 6, and 27.
Who cares?
Had go-ahead buckets in the fourth quarter. Ever in a playoff run, tied with LeBron James. 40 in finals, 38 to get to the finals without Giannis. After that, John Horst requests to trade him for Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal. Anybody know why that trade didn't happen?
Yeah, we know.
Bradley Beal talked about it in the podcast. The only reason Khris Middleton, after winning a championship, didn't get traded for Bradley Beal, very injury-prone player throughout his career,
So
is
is
because Bradley
Khris.
Beal said he doesn't want to go to a team that's that disloyal. He said that shows like it's a bad organization that would just trade a guy like.
Their teams are loyal to their best player, but not loyal to everybody else that's not making a difference. That's the difference. It's a business. Although everybody, you gotta come. It's like the same thing you gotta do in the business. You go to work, do what you need to do, take your break, go back, do your work, clock out, and go home or go do something else. But yeah, that's what you got to do when it comes to the business and when it comes to a job. You work. And the bad thing is, with like Shaq was saying with the Jimmy Butler situation, that okay, I'm not gonna work half-ass. I'm gonna work half-ass for you guys, so I'm not gonna play my full potential on this team because I want to go. Dude, no matter what difference you have with the team, you still there to work. You get paid, and I'm sorry, but some of these NBA players are just so greedy. I have to say, like that generation is so greedy. You can find rare players like Giannis Antetokounmpo that's been loyal to the team. I wouldn't say Khris Middleton because he was with the Detroit Pistons before that. So we can't say like Khris Middleton it was total loyal. He didn't play all his seasons with the same team. So it's been two teams. Just to point that out. We can't say that for everybody else. Only we can say that for is Giannis. Um, let's see, not Pat Connaughton. Yeah, they really don't got that many people that's been on this same team, but Khris and Giannis. But well, no, just Giannis. Yeah, mainly it's just Giannis. Well, you can add Ryan Rollins because he is starting his career there, and Tyler Smith was starting his career there, which I don't know why the hell they don't play him more. Which I don't know why. But I said like the last few games, with the few minutes he had, I think he had like 4 minutes, and I think it was against the Miami game. He scored 6 points. And look, although he was 1 for 1, only 2 points, only played like 1 minute, his plus minus is better than Khris Middleton. What is it? Yeah, his plus minus is better than Brook Lopez. And look, he almost played like almost all 48 minutes. But, we'll talk about that later on today. And I think it's just some people just don't see what they want to see. They just look at the stats, especially if they don't pay attention to the game. You got to pay attention to the game because it's not just stats. It's like what you do out there. It's just like, Giannis had like 4 turnovers, and maybe not all of them 4 turnovers is all his fault. Because it's not. Because it's not all his fault. Yeah, he made some, careless passes or something like that. And, like, really? You just got to look. You can't always look at the stats because all of them don't show, like, the true nature. Half of the times it could be the refs just calling BS. So they just really got to look at that.
Like Khris Middleton that just did that for them. And it's clearly the wrong basketball choice. I mean, 2 years later, he's the only one open against the Heat, averaging 26, 6, and 6. While Giannis is
But did he get us out of the first round that year? No, he hasn't. So you can't be saying, oh, he's scoring well, but did he get us out of the first round? No, he didn't. Really. Knock it off.
out for half the series, only one fighting, and Drew Holiday's getting fried by Jimmy Butler. And next year against the Pacers, he's fighting through bad ankles and still playoff time, averaging 28, 7, and 7.
But did he still get us out of the first round? No, he didn't.
22, 10, and 5.
The only way I will excuse the last season's playoff run is because we had a crappy bench. That's the only reason I would excuse that one, that playoff series against the Pacers, because yeah, he did good. Although the games that Damian Lillard played did good, you know what? It looked like they was gonna get somewhere, but we had a crappy bench, and freaking Bobby Portis ended up messing up and could have made a difference in that game 6 because he got suspended for one game for what he did. It could have been that big of a difference with Bobby Portis, probably would have been playing. But he failed to see that. It's not just one player, it's a whole team. Like, one star can get you so far, but it's up to the rest of the team to do something about it. That's the only reason I would excuse Khris Middleton from, last season in the playoffs. Because him and Dame, Brooke finally stepped up, but everybody else couldn't do jack squat. They couldn't. And I'm glad it's just like we got a little bit of a better bench. All depends on what they do this trade deadline because Gary Trent's on fire. He's not going anywhere. And I think they're going to probably sign him to the deal, maybe a 2-year deal. Then they can get the bird rights on him so they can pay him more. You know what? They'll be at one point, they may give him close to Pat Connaughton's numbers with the money. Then stay there for years and he's probably going to end up getting paid. Because next season, there's possibility if they keep him, he possibly could be in the starting lineup. You never know. So we'll just see. And I think like Gary Trent Jr.'s ceiling is very high He's still young, still 25. Like same thing with Ryan Rollins. Hopefully they can get him into the roster spot by the trade deadline, and that's one of the reasons why they're gonna be doing some of these trades, so they can put Ryan Rollins into that roster spot. And if they do those 3 trades, and the thing is, they can. Sorry, guys. The thing is, oh no, sorry, I'm just like losing it right now on this, and it takes me a while to get me mad, and it takes me a very long time to get me mad, but like, oh my freaking lord, some of these fans are pointless and young. It's just insane. Especially people growing up in like the Kobe era thinking like all you gotta do is score and shoot. I don't know. These past 2 generations, I don't get it. I really don't.
On these bad angles. And the reason I'm saying it's done is because yet again, it's more trade rumors for him.
Yep.
He's just constantly getting put in. And then on top of that, we have a fan base that before we won a championship, while Eric Bledsoe was on the team, people were telling me Middleton was the problem. People were.
I gotta stop you right there. I've been doing this channel for 16 years. I know that one year, like the 15-16 season, I know I started doing like Bucks thing for like that one year. Then I ended up getting back into it, I think around, the 18-19 season. I started getting back and doing Buck stuff. We thought we were good. We had the first seed, then ended up losing to the Eastern Conference Finals. Although we was up 2-0, they figured out a way to stop Giannis. But the other team, including Khris Middleton himself, could not do anything to help Giannis out. Like carry the scoring load. They couldn't do that. Eric Bledsoe was to blame in that too. That whole bench, even including Brook Lopez, couldn't help him. Yeah, it's that bad if you like. I wasn't blaming Khris Middleton for the whole thing. I was thinking like, okay, they'll restart. They start refresh, 19-20 season, start refresh. Look like we was gonna come out better than ever. Then, COVID happens. Then, when they restarted this, resumed the season, they were rusty. The whole team looked at rusty. Including Eric Bledsoe. So, he was rusty. What more can you do? Because the thing was, it's the same thing we can say about that Miami series with Khris Middleton and that 2020 playoffs. He only had that one good game. But when it came to game 5, where was he? Giannis was hurt. It was only him. We knew about Eric Bledsoe, not doing any good in that team. And that's why, they decided, trade him. He was in New Orleans and we didn't see him ever since. So, if players don't do very good as they should be, and they end up sucking in the playoffs, they're going to look at you and be like, if you can't turn it up in the playoffs, then why we pick you? And that's what happened. They got rid of Eric Bledsoe and got Drew Holiday, which was a good trade at that time. But I wasn't one of those people that said, okay, they should trade Khris Middleton. I think after that point after the championship season, although he was getting hurt before then, but just after that, we were supposed to be back to back. Although Khris Middleton was out on that on the Chicago Bulls game was a freak accident which I know he had no control over. So I gave that season a pass because they almost beat Boston in 7 games. Almost beat Boston. But Giannis and was it Drew Holiday? Drew Holiday was doing okay, but it just wasn't enough. We didn't have no bench. And Pat Connaughton had fallen off. Just at the time, we had no bench. I think like after that championship season where they was like getting like some players out of nowhere, and we just didn't have that much of a bench ever since that championship season. We have a good bench this season, but we don't have a good bench in the past. Just laying it out there.
What we're saying in the comment section, trade Middleton after playoff losses, not trade Bledsoe. I remember when Brogdon left, just reading so many Instagram comments saying it should have been Middleton gone.
Actually, they was okay. They was better without Brogdon, but we wouldn't have known if that whole that 1920 season was complete and it wasn't like and COVID didn't happen. Things could have changed. We never know. Maybe Eric Bledsoe would have got his act together. Who knows? But the bad thing is that at the time, I don't know who was saying it, but I wasn't saying that Khris Middleton should have got traded. Although I was like a little bit frustrated with his injuries. Yeah, I was frustrated with his injuries. But still. Just see what I'm saying? The difference is Khris Middleton is older. And not being an athlete, he's gonna be out the game kind of soon. And we don't know what his like workout measurements or anything that's going on. We only know what's going on when he, how he plays. We don't know nothing about his off-season things or anything like that, or if he's working out all season. We don't know that. They probably only did one clip of him like working out, and that was like that season he had that he pulled his what is it? I think he pulled out his MTL or whatever the case may be. The injury that he was talking about when he something with his leg. That was the only time they showed Khris actually like working out to get back to the game. That's it. Maybe he would have took times off or whatever like that. We don't know. So at least you had some players like Giannis and Damian and all them other stuff saying, "Oh yeah, we're working out the all season." Khris didn't show nothing. So maybe his lack of like not trying to work out, maybe that's costing him.
And when Drew Holiday got traded, same thing. Even though he was the one that got fried by Jimmy Butler, even though he was the one consistently underperforming in the playoff runs, Bucks fans were saying he should have been gone.
I can understand why they traded Drew for Damian Lillard. His offensive was like up and down, and you saw that during the season. After the championship, you saw that in the season, like his up and down. But the year before he got traded, he ended up making it to the All-Star game. So at least he was a 2-time All-Star. We'll give him that. But when him went to Boston, his role has diminished, and he ain't that worried that he's like gonna be like part of the big three and be like how he should have been the third option. Like with Boston, he's the fourth or fifth option. So you really got to look into that. So Drew Holiday is comfortable with his role. Khris Middleton, like he's okay with his role, but today it just yesterday it was just kind of like maybe it's the staff and the the I wouldn't say staff in the back, I would say the closer, just say it like that, the closing of his situation. Let's just put it that way.
And then tonight's just a great example where listen, some people think I'm not in reality with Khris Middleton. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm an absolute fanatic of him.
Yeah, big
I
fanatic.
can tell you, he looked washed tonight. He looked terrible today. But the people have been telling you that all year. They've just been wrong because he's been playing well. But when he
You're not looking at his injuries and his age. That's what you're not looking at. Not a lot of people are going to be that lucky to play how they are with these other players like Stephen Curry or LeBron James. Not many players going to be that lucky to have a career like that. Or like, was it John Sally? Yeah, John Sally, who played like over 20 years. Or like Vince Carter. Ain't no player ain't going to be that lucky to play that long. It's just you got to face facts. Some players is not athletic and their NBA careers are not going to last as long as everybody else or surpass it.
when he actually does play badly, people that will call me a stat nerd. Surprise, surprise! When he actually does play bad, his stats are bad because look at that, stats are actually a record of events of what happened on the basketball floor. He played bad today. I can say that. But the thing is, these fans, they come out and they're like happy about it.
The reason we're happy about it because we try to prove a point to you for what we were saying this whole time. Either they're going to trade Khris Middleton or he got to diminish his role. If he wants to come back next season, take a pay cut. Because it's like he's not worth that much. And I'm sorry to say, and I know some people ain't going to like this, but Jimmy Butler, although he's 2 years older than Khris Middleton, is way better. Jimmy Butler is way better than Khris Middleton. Although he don't have the championship to prove it, but still better than Khris Middleton. Like, he just don't see that. There are going to be some players out there that are going to be better than other players. You just got to face the facts. That's the thing. Some players are going to be better than other players. Whether winning a championship or not.
They're like rooting for it, and they're just
No, we're not rooting for it.
Waiting for the day that he has a bad game so that they can be right on the things that they've been wrong about for years.
And it's like when they do good, you're going to like, oh yeah, I was right. He's a good player, blah, 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 blah. The same thing can be thrown right back at you, buddy.
When he finally does play terrible in a game, then they can feel justified in the hate that they've had for him for years, even though they've been proven wrong time and time again. Now, where do I stand overall? If I was coming in as GM, I would issue a public apology. I would say, no, we're riding it out here.
Ain't no GM going to apologize for what they did. They probably would say, okay, we made a mistake, but we're going to move on from that mistake. Ain't no GM going to apologize for what they about to do or will do. It's business. Just got to think about it. It's business. You got to throw your personal feelings aside when it comes to business. You got to do what's right for the business. Not what always everybody wants, because everybody can't always get. They can't always get what they want.
I'm not going to get 35-year-old Jimmy Butler and pay him $50 million and try to incorporate a non-shooter at this point. I'm not going to go get Zach LaVine and be locked into $45 million for 3 more years. I think we all know.
But Zach LaVine is younger. You don't get that. And things can change if you're in a different scenery. You don't see that. Everybody said the same thing about Damian Lillard. Like, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. He's getting better, and he's trying to play defense. Because he's not the A-plus defense player. At least he's trying. He's not like, slacking off. Which it seems like you don't get. Some of these players can prove you wrong. Same thing they were saying about Brook Lopez. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Well, I wouldn't say they 75% right. They're 75% wrong. Because, if it wasn't for his defense, and look to yesterday, look, three blocks. 3 blocks. Would we like his rebounding to be better? Yes. Would you like him to do like be smart and shooting and actually, most of the time take it to the paint because he's like the biggest player out of everybody that he plays against, except for a few players? Yeah. We'd like to see that from Brooke, be in the paint more instead of like shooting threes because you're open for threes. That don't mean you need to take it. Try to get your like inside game going first, then you can like shoot some threes or whatever. But some people just don't see it. That's all it is.
I don't know why we're not getting Bradley Beal at $60 million. Yeah, and like I don't think any of those guys make sense.
Khris Middleton was overpaid ever since he took that deal. So we took the 2 and plus 1 deal. He is overpaid. He's rather off taking that Bobby Porter's money.
And I'd rather the Khris Middleton that we've had up until this game this season, and then with the hopes that, well, maybe, just maybe, he'll elevate in the playoffs like he's done every year. Just maybe there's still a chance of that. And if not, okay, well, at least we have a guy that can play multiple positions and, can pass better than them and does things other than just score the basketball, which is all Bradley Beal or Zach LaVine does.
So we need some scoring right now. We need scoring.
No, but at this point, I feel like maybe the relationship is just beyond repair. He's just maybe at a breaking point. I don't know. Maybe it is just physical though. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe he's just holding on to his last scraps as a basketball player, and that's what this year has been, and it's just going to go south from here. That's possible. But I'm going to need more than one terrible game to see that, and we'll see. But I do feel like if he does get going again, it probably won't be in Milwaukee, and that's sad, but it's something that I've just maybe had to come to accept at this point, and yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry, he's half lying. He claims that he's going to accept it, but he's not. If Khris Middleton end up having a good game tomorrow when they play against I think what they do, they play against what was it, Portland they play against tomorrow? No, they play Portland Tuesday. They play somebody else tomorrow. I can't even remember who they play, but they play somebody tomorrow. I can't even remember who. Because I know it's Utah. Yeah, they play Utah tomorrow. So if somehow Khris Middleton have like a good game, or they're going to start, not playing them in back to back, which is a bunch of crap. Because ain't we off that, not playing back to backs? Because that's what the one thing is that ruined his career is not playing back to backs. And I don't know what some of these doctors are telling him, but stuff like, you want to get your legs going, you're going to have to play. We understand when you get hurt. And like, if you're really officially back in the game, you should be able to play with like back-to-backs, not just low management or anything like that.
Let me know what y'all think. I mean, obviously, either it's a whole game. Maybe I should talk about a little bit of the other stuff in the game other than that. But, I mean, that was the main focus. That's the main thing everybody's focusing on. Other than that, in this game, I think it was just mainly – I mean, Harden went crazy. Could have brought doubles to him. Maybe more Andre Jackson minutes would have made sense today. I think overall, just missing Bobby's rebounds too hurt. AJ Green always helps out there. And, yeah, I don't think that was good. I think if I were to make any of the trades, though, Jimmy Butler would be the one that makes the most sense because his contract's only for 2 more years, and he helps you defensively. So, yeah, maybe that would help in that situation, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the heck happens, man. I don't really know. I'm kind of at a loss what else to say. Let me know what y'all.
Just face the truth. Khris Middleton is going downhill. Like, it's just like I said, if he end up staying with this team and he ended up failing them in the playoffs, what you gotta say then? I know I can say anything can happen, but it's like you gotta prove a point that some players are not gonna be the same as they were if if they don't invest in their body. Is like, of course, in the summer, and you have family time and all that stuff, but still, you still gotta keep yourself in shape. I don't know if he has done that. Like, I don't know. Some of these fans don't get it. If you're just a fan of a player, then you're just a fan of the player. Buy a jersey, whatever. It'll be more money for the team. But for the Bucks fans that actually been with this team since they end up being the fan when they was a kid, or well, since day one, if they've been the fans of them, those fans are the real fans. Like, I'm one of them. Ever since I found out, about the Milwaukee Bucks, that were like, oh wow, we have a basketball team here. Ever since I found out in the '90s, since I was like pre-teens, I was like, cool, we got a basketball team. Like, I would like to watch them, and that's how I've been doing. Been sticking up with my hometown team ever since. All my hometown teams. Like, there's other teams I like, but when it comes to going against my hometown team, I'm gonna go for my hometown team. So that's what it does, and that's how it goes. But nice. Buffalo scored again. Nice. But my point is, you don't have these fans that's gonna be a fans of like one player. Then when they leave, the organization, they're gonna follow that player. There's probably be more than one player that you like. That's one thing. But it's like a player that wins you a champion. Well, I don't know. Let's just say I'll just put half and half into that because like I said, I'm a LeBron James fan, but I will admit, he has some faults. So I'm not gonna be like oh, he's the greatest player of all time. I'm not gonna say that because other events could say different. Like, I'm not gonna say that. But LeBron James, is he in my? He's in my top 10, not my top 5. He's in my top 10. But the point is, I understand you sticking to your player, but don't say you're a Bucks fan and you like this player too. Then when this player leaves, oh, I'm gonna hate the team. I'm not gonna watch or hang with the team anymore. I ain't gonna say go Bucks go. If that was the case, you never were a fan. They could have said that about me when I didn't like that Glenn Robinson trade or that Ray Allen trade. But I still stuck with the team through thick and thin. That's what you do. One player shouldn't take your overlook at with the organization. Period. It's just like my hate for the Lakers. Like, I hate the organization. I hate how they made the NBA become with these large market teams and these small market teams. I don't think that's fair. And when the small market team try to do something to make their team better, they want to change that. So I think right now Adam Silver is a bad commissioner. Just maybe for these reasons and letting that CBA make that stupid rule about these aprons. Yeah, I wasn't the one that's saying, boo or Adam Silver or anything like that. But I will boo him for declining like Milwaukee for not having the All-Star game ever since we got this new arena. And normally when people got these new arenas and stuff and meet all the qualifications except for, oh, we don't have that many 5-star hotels. We have a lot amount of hotels that's enough. It doesn't matter if they 5-star. If people enjoy the hotels that we're gonna be at and the hotels that is good, they're gonna love it. But I need to stop my rant. I'm gonna save this rant for later. But I don't know. I just had to say something. I apologize, guys, but it just. I guess when you get older, you hate fans like this. That is not like a Bucks fan. They're just like a player fan. Like it's just like I said with freaking LeBron James. Like okay, if he like wins like a championship or something, good for him. But and about if he's wrong about something, like people was like upset with him, crying like a baby and stuff like that. I'm gonna agree with them because he is. I'm not gonna say that people are wrong because they're right. But I know you're gonna have some analysts just like probably say like something different, like he's the best player in the world. I would think they're wrong. But it's like we got our own opinions and we got facts. You gotta look at the facts. And hopefully, I don't think that Barrett is gonna learn his lesson. I seriously doubt it. But I don't think he is. But you know what? Strange things can happen. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this. Please like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers at least by the end. Might as well say by the end of this week, and if not, hopefully in February. Like I said, thank you for all that have subscribed and all the loyal followers. We appreciate you and we thank you. And also check out the over 2,400 videos that we did in 16 years. So if you don't like the Bucks, you may like wrestling, or you may like development things that's going on in the city, or we talk about comic book movies and TV news. You like that? You will like this channel. And don't forget to check out the website wrestlingfanspeakout.weebly.com with updated stuff in the Midwest of pro wrestling, wrestling photos we took, and some photos we took, at a few Bucks events and some of the players we met. But yeah, only thing I can say is like please support this channel. The main target is trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so hopefully we can get there. And that's gonna be everybody's goal to like get higher. But as long as we get to like 1,000 subscribers, I'm happy. I'm not happy. I'm not just saying we're gonna pass like other goal than that. If more people like tune in, that's great too. Like I'm not gonna deny everybody. So because it seems like most of y'all like when I do like live videos than actually doing pre-recorded ones. So we will try to do more lives, and hopefully like over 80% of y'all that's not subscribed that watch this, please check this channel. Maybe you like some videos we done in the past. So and tonight we will do a WFSO aftermath, but I think we ain't gonna do that many subjects. So that's gonna be a thing. But anyways, I know I'm rambling long enough. See y'all tonight live, 10 p.m. Central, 11 p.m. Eastern. I was gonna do it early, but no, I'm just gonna end up just doing it at the regular time. So until then, y'all guys have a good one, and until the next video.